My boss said he'd have me deported by sunrise. He had no idea I was with the FBI. I'm 24, but I look 16 and I speak fluent Spanish. So when the FBI needed someone to go undercover at a meat processing plant where workers kept disappearing, I volunteered. I'd wear a wire and document everything while a team monitored from a van in the parking lot. My first day, the floor manager Terrence walked me to my station and said, "You speak English?" I shook my head. He smiled. Good. The ones who don't speak English don't cause problems. He grabbed my chin and turned my face side to side like he was inspecting livestock. Pretty. That'll be useful if you step out of line. He pointed to the line where women stood shoulder to shoulder cutting meat so fast their hands were blurring. 12-hour shifts, no talking, no bathroom unless I say so. You get hurt, you tell me, not a doctor. You got a problem with any of that? ICE is on my speed dial. A woman next to me sliced her finger open and blood sprayed across the conveyor belt. She didn't make a sound. She just wrapped it in her shirt and kept cutting. By hour 8, Terrence caught a man slowing down and grabbed him by the throat. "You think I'm paying you to rest?" He dragged him into the back office and I heard screaming, and then a sound like meat hitting concrete. The man came back with his face swelling purple and went right back to work. That night, I met the other workers in the company housing, which was a warehouse with mattresses on the floor and one toilet for 40 people. A woman named Dolores sat next to me and whispered, "You're new. How much did you pay the coyote?" I told her 2,000. She laughed bitterly. "They'll take that back within a month. They take everything. My husband worked here for 3 years and last month a machine ripped off his hand. You know what Terrence did?" I shook my head. "He drove my husband to the border himself and threw him out of the car and told him if he ever talked to anyone he'd come back and kill me and our daughters. Then he came home and told me I'd be working double shifts to make up for the lost productivity." Her eyes were hollow. "I can't leave. He has my documents. He has my children's documents. He has everything." The next week destroyed me. I watched Terrence kick a pregnant woman in the stomach when she asked to sit down. She miscarried that night on a mattress 10 feet from me, and Terrence told her she had to work the next morning, or he'd put her whole family on a bus to the border. I watched him drag a 16-year-old girl into his office and lock the door, and I had to stand there listening to her crying for 20 minutes, because if I blew my cover, he'd walk free and do it to 100 more girls. I watched him beat a man unconscious for asking about overtime pay, and then make 2 other workers carry him to the dumpster out back. "Leave him there overnight," Terrence said. "He'll learn." Then Terrence started focusing on me. He cornered me by the freezer and pressed his body against mine. "I've been watching you. You're not like the others. You've got something in your eyes." He ran his hand down my arm. "I could make things easier for you, or I could make them much, much worse. Your choice." I kept my eyes down and said nothing. He grabbed my jaw hard. "I asked you a question. Please," I whispered. "I just want to work." He laughed. "Good answer, for now." That night, I was helping Dolores clean a wound on her hand when Terrence walked into the warehouse. He saw the first aid kit and his face twisted. "Where did you get that?" "Medical supplies cost money." He grabbed me by the hair and dragged me outside and slammed me against the wall so hard I saw stars. "You think you can steal from me? You think anyone gives a shit what happens to illegals? I've made people disappear before." He pulled out his phone. "I'm calling my guy right now. You'll be in the desert by sunrise, and the coyotes will eat whatever's left of you, and nobody will ever ask a single question because you don't exist." He started dialing. "Actually," I said in perfect English, "I don't think you're calling anyone." He froze. "What did you just say?" I pulled out my credentials. "I'm Special Agent Mendoza with the FBI. Everything you've done for the past 2 weeks has been recorded and transmitted to a federal task force." His face went white. "You're lying. You're a fucking liar." "I'm not, and they're already here." Headlights flooded the parking lot as 6 black SUVs pulled in. Agents swarmed everywhere. Terrence tried to run and made it 5 feet before they tackled him face first into the gravel. Dolores came outside crying and asked, "Is it really over?" I hugged her. "It's over. Everyone who cooperates gets protected status. I promise." They dragged Terrence past me and I grabbed his arm. "You said we don't exist, but you're the one who's about to disappear." Terrence is serving 35 years for human trafficking, sexual assault, and murder. 42 workers received protected status visas. Dolores and her husband are applying for citizenship together.